What is good? What is good? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Saturday, happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Assembly of Excellence. I am your host for this afternoon. You see the name, don't forget it. I hope all is well with each and every single one of you. Before we go into this live stream, I want to give my shout outs and my thanks. Flowers to my writers, my content creators, my poets, my artists, my singers, my bookworms. Salutes to all of you. Salutes to all of you. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to network. Continue to water and nurture your growth in your garden. Continue to do what makes you happy. Don't let anyone stop you or tell you that you aren't good enough or that you're not talented enough to pursue your ambitions and your goals and your dreams. There's too much darkness, there's too much division, too much of negative people and circumstances around us, always speaking something into our existence that's not fruitful. It's time to cut away at the hedges. It's time to make room for joy, for love, for opportunity, for freedom, for success. It's time to break away from the toxic traits that we picked up as we grew up. It's time to separate ourselves from the ones that want to remain lost. It's time to speak up. We got some things to talk about, and it's going to piggyback off a little bit of what I was going on about last night. If you didn't check out that stream, definitely go pull back up to it. I got a guest in a building, and we're just going to jump right into it. I wanted to go ahead and do this early because later on I do have a event that I need to attend to. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Coming to the stage, Mr. Six Rings 28 himself. Let me know if you in here, brother.
Yeah, I'm in here. How's it going, man?
I'm counting my blessings. Count my blessings, man. Just glad to see one more day, one more year. We're headed into 2024. I'm arming myself with all the proper information and ammunition that I can possibly carry with me moving into the next couple of days. I am excited for what's to come eh, tomorrow, later on this evening, just from interactions and learning from my different experiences over the years. So yeah, man, I'm good. How
So
about yourself?
I'm good, man. How's your Christmas shopping? Did you finish Christmas shopping?
Christmas shopping for me is paying bills and getting out of debt. So yes,
Yes.
I'm 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 fairly good in that area if that counts. My and I did a live on this before. If y'all want to check that one out too, where I say, Christmas has nothing to do with gifts and presents, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm in a good spot. I'm
Well,
in a
I'm
good
gonna
spot.
say this, brother. It's more important to give than receive. So if you giving something and you can put a smile on somebody's face, man, that's the real blessing, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, look, man, we gonna get right into it, bro. we can weave this into your subject, but I want to bring this up real quick for you and for the viewership. Specifically on this channel and this platform, I encourage anyone and everyone that has a voice or opinion, whether or not I agree or disagree with your stance on something, to always be comfortable enough to speak and share how you feel. The whole purpose of this channel is to have fellowship, to bring enlightenment, to bring each other close and not divided and separate. Shout out to Anna. She made a post on Threads just a few minutes ago, similar to this. Because what happens is when we have these discussions and these conversations on social media or on any localized network, it always turns into a back and forth of who's right and who's more wrong. And we never actually get anywhere with the conversation. So, moving into this discussion that we're about to have here, I want you to understand that my stance is neutral. It will always be neutral. I take no sides on either male or female role. I have no side on political aspects. I have my beliefs. There's things that I follow, but I would never try to push my agenda on anyone. This is an open forum for anyone. So that being said, there was a scenario that took place, and I made a post, and in the post, it was regarding, or it put a unfavorable light on the female species, and the feedback that I got in return was one sided. The conversation turned from me hating or having a disdain towards women because of my post, and it kind of sparked a discussion between me and this gentleman here as to why I said, you know what, let's go ahead and hash it out right now. Um, I'll give you the floor. If there's something that you want to get off your chest and say, man, go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, well, since we talking on the matter, um, the only thing I was expressing was, I mean, like everybody have an opinion uh, of how they see things and things of that matter, depending on which we speaking on. But in that particular post that you talking about now, the only thing I was trying to address was pretty much uh, it's not really what you said. I believe is the way it come across. Like people can say anything to somebody, but how many times have an altercation or a misunderstanding, or I'm gonna just say domestic violence triggered just off a misunderstanding of one another. You know what I mean? So I figure you could say anything about anything if it's understood correctly. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time when something happens between one a person and another person, is always 9 times out of 10 it's like somebody didn't read, you know, read the meaning before the stuff escalated. Then the problem had escalated. So that's one thing I personally studied, like any little drama or any little disconnect. You know what I mean? It was always somebody seeing it differently, or seeing it differently, the wrong way than the other person. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying to you, sir, uh, maybe it's the approach, maybe it's a certain tone, because as parents and you got kids be trying to express themselves to parents, and it's good to let your kids express themselves to you, to get stuff off their chest. They got stuff on their chest, and I feel that's healthy to do that, but it's the way it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like you can say how you feel, but if your tone is fucked up, then I'm not going to really hear your words. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to listen to the words that you're saying. I'm going to listen to that tone, and I'm going to jump on you, and I'm going to attack you, and I'm going to shut your statement down because your delivery was fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So that's that's my stance on the whole matter. Like, you can, it's the way it's done. You know what I'm saying? I figure you can get more bees with honey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, long as we on one accord with that, then I don't see it could be a disconnect anywhere. No matter what the opinion is. You know what I'm saying? Or what the topic is. You got it.
Okay, so I, are you finished with your thought? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. You got it. I just was saying it, saying that piece, because most of the time when you have those outcomes like that, like what happened, that's pretty much, to me, the number one reason why it happened. You know, so one person didn't see it, the other person's vision, and then now you got this disconnect, and we got this misunderstanding.
Okay, so I want to start from here because I think that we're speaking on two entirely different situations or scenarios. And for anyone that's in the comment section, you can chime in on this as well. My comment was written in text, right? And in my text, I said, and make sure I want you to really listen to what I'm saying. I said, some women will dress half naked in 0-degree weather and post pictures and videos, all for attention and validation. That's a text message. It's not me speaking vocally like I am right now. It's in text. Anyone who reads this message, how can you decipher whether or not I'm delivering my message in a negative tone or a positive tone? Where within that statement does it sound like I'm angry, bitter, being offensive, or attacking anyone? Now, also, you have to take into consideration if you actually read the message or the text within itself. Notice I said some. I never put an entire community of women in the same category. I said some, but they read my message and took it as if I was internally holding in resentment towards an entire gender, which in turn created more confusion because now you're tying my person, my who I am, to a statement that was never meant or designed to attack anyone specifically. It was posted in regards to the part of society that we are in where social media and the worldly possessions that we so admire and are connected and drawn to and obsessed with have put us in a place to where if we don't have people admiring us or loving and bending on one knee and praising us and being obsessed with, if we don't have the likes and the comments and the shares from these people, then we don't have no type of importance or significance to us. See, my this is where I say it's very important that people understand context and you listen with your ears and you process what is being communicated to you. When you tend to listen to some speak, are you listening with the intentions to understand, or are you listening or reading with the purpose or intentions to respond and rebuttal with your own argument? Because that conversation or that post revealed a couple things that were kind of alarming to me. And I'm sorry if it offends people. I don't have any intentions on offending anyone. But this is the problem. We we're so sensitive. Anything that is said about us or against us, we apply it to our life and we want to fight and we want to get into all of these debates and disputes. But the fact of the matter is, there are men who don't love themselves and don't know how to be men. There's women who don't love themselves and know how to be women. There's chaos and destruction all around us. People are lying to each other. Women are lying to each other. Men are lying to each other. No one is taking accountability for the behaviors of their sex. We walk blindly to ignorance. We allow people to tell us whatever they want without proper information. We don't take the time to get to know each other, to get to know the person, to understand what the anger is for, what the messages are for. Why are we even going back and forth over something so trivial? If I'm misinformed, tell me I'm misinformed. If I'm doing or saying something that gives you the impression that I'm being demonstrative, let me know. Talk to me, communicate these things with me. If you disagree with a post or a statement, you're more than welcome to say whatever it is that you wish to say. We can't get anywhere where you're easily triggered by any and everything that's being said. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm pretty sure everybody that's in this chat room and on these social spaces, for the most part, are over the age of 18, which means you have control over your faculties. You know what's right and wrong. You have the ability to process your feelings and emotions. You know how to talk to people. You know how to talk to your boss. So you know how to talk to your friends and your family. You know how to express your hurt and your anger and your feelings when you need to. You should know how to control yourself. You should know how to respect other people's opinions without pissing your pants and getting overly emotional and sensitive about what's happening. It's not my responsibility to control or dictate how you perceive something I said. It's not my job. I'm not your babysitter. Women trash men all the time. I don't cry in a little room Women and men have been doing this for decades. I don't take it personal. If anything, I'm looking at both sides and I'm trying to wrap my brain around where's all of this coming from. Because I can honestly say that there may be toxic traits in me that solidifies or legitimate. It basically is like, yeah, she's right. Yeah, he's right. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Maybe I am a little asshole. Maybe I am a douche. Maybe I'm too aggressive. Maybe I can accept that. You can tell me whatever it is you want. I'm cool with that. But when you get to the point where you can't even self check yourself and nobody else can say anything, what are we really doing here? I give it back to you.
Yeah, man. You said a handful. But yeah, like going back on what you said about the text message and stuff like that. Um, Pretty much like you said, you didn't voice it, but I would say through text message it can be misunderstood as well. It can be a little confusing. Some people don't um, receive the message the way you intend to give it. You know what I'm saying? So that it's been situations like that where it did happen, and you have to go back and explain your intentions on what you said pretty much. So it's something that happens, man. That's all I can say. It's something that happens. But the main thing is with this situation right here, it's more a character. It's like a character check. You know what I'm saying? So it's more personal. It's dealing with character. It's dealing with in your intent, and to know. I'm gonna say this: to know a person is to understand where they coming from. You know what I'm saying? With no matter what the situation is, I feel like if you know somebody well enough, you know what I'm saying, you and got to know somebody well enough, you will definitely understand their side and their logic and their vision of whatever the matter that they speaking on, or whatever the situation is. And I feel that's where the disconnect comes from, and that's where people's intentions is misguided. Because if you don't really care to know about a person, then opinions just come in and attack. You can attack somebody's whole character that way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you know if whatever you don't really know about a person, you shouldn't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have a total understanding of that person's makeup. But again, I'm gonna say it again. People got opinions, and they're entitled to their opinions. It's an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It don't make it fact. What's fact is what it's what a person understands and know about their damn self. You know what I'm saying? That's fact. If you didn't put it out there a certain way, I feel like that's the facts. You see what I'm saying? That's what I would go off of. I wouldn't go off the opinions of others. You know what I'm saying? Who don't even really care to know or find out the truth about the matter. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that wouldn't bother me, or you know stop my growth, because at the end of the day, everybody got something to work on, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, it's just a character check.
The art of back and forth dialogue is lost today. Nobody wants to have a dialogue to discern the truth of a matter because nobody believes in truth no more. I absolutely agree with that. I'll even add in addition and say that lack of empathy is a huge component to that problem. We don't really necessarily care about each other anymore. Everything is transactional, or everything is being done out of survival to protect yourself. What are you protecting yourself from? The human in me wants to do everything possible to never come across another liar or a person that would represent me in a way that's going to disrespect me, them, and any prospects that I have moving forward, business wise or relationship wise. The part of me that wants to make sure that I am covered and that my loved ones are covered does not want to allow certain things to enter into my infrastructure to destroy it. But we gotta look at it like this: in your attempts to bring the most out of your walk and out of your life, being human is something that we need. Is necessary. We can't be robots. I'm talking to you guys because I care. The things that I speak about is because I care. If I didn't care about it, I wouldn't even bring it up in the first place. But it's at a point to where if we speak about or speak against anything that is wrong or doesn't fit the motives of those that are controlling our water and our power and gas and all of these things that we utilize on a regular basis, if we're not conforming to what they want, we get villainized. Am I wrong for sharing my opinions or my thoughts on certain things? No. But to a lot of people, they're programmed to believe that, oh, you can't say nothing about this or you can't say nothing about that. You're going to get canceled. You're going to get blackballed. How dare you? You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit. You're garbage. You get called all types of names. They try to isolate you and separate you from the general public. They try to make you look like you're weird or you're different or that you're just crazy and you're delusional and you don't know anything about what you're talking about. But did you really try to understand me? Did you really try to understand the person that you're having the conversation with or the person's message that you're reading? Or are you just scrolling and you just happen to see something that you didn't like and you automatically condemned it? Anytime I have a conversation with him or anyone here or anyone on any of these platforms in general, my only goal and mission is to connect with people and to understand people and to learn and grow with people, to help myself, to find myself in areas that I didn't think to look because we're always growing, we're always learning, you never stop. And to be a light, we're all supposed to be lights on this earth to help bring people out of the shadows of darkness, out of evil, and pull them away from wickedness. How can you do that when it's designed for you to shut up? They don't want you to say nothing at all. I read a post on Threads like an hour ago. The guy was damn near saying something similar to me, and he said, "Uh, if you don't want to get harassed, maybe you shouldn't sexualize yourself on social media." Well, Look at it this way, right? And I'm gonna give it back to you. And this goes with people operating from different conceptions of what is right and wrong, and you're kind of just twisting and contorting reality to fit your own agendas. Because a lot of these men that I saw responding to him, they were defending the woman because she's a woman, which I get. But in his message, he wasn't attacking her. He was just saying, look, maybe dress a little more subtle and you won't get a lot of the attention that you get. You can dress however you want. We all know that. You can bleach your hair, you can pierce your nose, your nipple. I don't care. Do as you please. But we're grown. We know human nature. We understand people are crazy as fuck. People are sick. There's so much that you can do, but you have to understand what comes with what you're putting out there on the internet for the world to see. You know the risk that you take when you do certain things. And I'm not saying that a troll or someone who is commenting and sending dick pics is justified. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for wanting to express yourself. If you're doing it just to be yourself and is not coming from any type of malicious place, but you take the risk when you come on the internet half naked or you showing your ass and your titties every 5 minutes. What do you think you're going to get? Because I know, and I said this earlier, not every female that's on here is not fucking on here doing this shit for the love of art. No one is painting you. This is not fucking uh Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio is not sitting on the couch painting a picture of you. You're on there mesmerizing men, sucking them in to abstain or garner some type of taxable income from them because you know men are lustful. You know that they're lonely. You know a lot of them don't have anything going on in their life. And you know most men don't have standards or morals. So you prey on the weak. You prey on those that don't know love, that don't have a foundation. They don't have stoicism. They don't know how to honor themselves and honor God and walk with ferocity that doesn't sway them to be tempted by seductresses. You're monopolizing off of men. When I speak on things like that, I'm speaking to a specific group of people. I'm not speaking about everyone, but for whatever reason, we tend to get into these debates and these conversations and attack the person or the messenger, but you're not going after the folks that are actually the cause of suicide, the cause of sin, the cause of losing their livelihoods, their homes, their families, et cetera, in court and losing their careers and jobs and things of that nature. You're not going after them. You're not attacking them, but you will attack the messenger. Say one thing wrong about a woman, it's over with. Oh my God, we got to get rid of him, counseling him. But you're looking at it. You're looking at this completely wrong. See, you think this is about bashing women. You think this is about bashing men. No, it's not. I want my neighborhood safe. I want the children to grow up in healthy relationships. I want generational curses to be broken. I want communication to improve. I don't want people walking around depressed and oppressed and sad and bitter and spiteful and hateful, carrying all of this in them. I want people to be able to communicate and actually sit across from each other without wanting to pick up a gun. I want women to love themselves more than putting their nudes on camera every single day. You know how many times I get messages on Instagram and on all of my accounts from women promoting their link tree, promoting their OnlyFans. Every day I get at least four of them, whether or not they're robots or not. I get them, but you're gonna sit here and attack me for having an opinion about something that is distasteful. Now, if I was younger and I was still in that mindset to where I didn't really care about that stuff, then it probably would be something different. But I'm older. My soul is at stake. Your soul is at stake. The decisions that we make and the things that we say to people and the way we carry ourselves is important. And for men who are out here lying to women about their intentions, cheating on them, passing STDs around, robbing, stealing, killing, taking people's lives from them, poisoning them, walking free in our streets. I have no love lost for them neither. It's sad to me. It's all sad to me, all of it. But nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. Everybody wants to be in this little safe bubble where we can talk about one thing, but we can't talk about everything else. We can talk about Christmas, but we can't talk about that fucking pedophile who was just caught trying to seduce a fucking 13-year-old boy. We can't talk about that. You can't talk about Jonathan Majors just losing his fucking career in Marvel because a woman set him up for failure because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. We can't talk about the uncomfortable shit, the racism, the envy, the pride, the jealousy. We can't talk about the fact that you're faking being friends with people. You're full of shit. You're not really friends with these people. You don't love them like you say to do. You don't care about them. You don't support them. You're not really communicating to communicate with them honestly. You're not trying to find common ground. You're not trying to find peace. You're not trying to find solutions. You're all about yourself. You're self-serving. We can't talk about stuff like that, right? Because if we as soon as we start speaking on it now, I'm hated or I'm looked at like I'm garbage or I just shouldn't say anything at all because it's better that way. It's easier that way. How easy is it? Hold up, hold up. I see somebody just pulled up. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, Anna, I got you. Hey, 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 hey. Um, it, yeah, I understand that it's the time of the year and where we're supposed to be celebrating God and Jesus, and we're supposed to be just joyful and sharing presents and loving our loved ones and family and things of that nature. But I mean, come on, man. Can we just be honest? Like for real. I know I'm just one random person from another side of the world. I know that. I know you don't know me from a can of paper, but can we be completely honest? Can we stop lying to ourselves and lying to other people? The truth is the truth. Opinion is opinion. We can disagree or we can agree. But let's just stop acting like everything is fine when it isn't. No one is completely free. I hand it over whoever wants to speak. I mean, Anna, I see you pulled up. I felt like you really wanted to get something off your chest. So the floor is yours. Maybe her audio. I don't know if you I don't know if your audio is on or not. But if you got anything you want to add to it, bro. Oh wait a minute, hold up. I got you muted. Hold up. Oh, all right. Well, she's mute. She's mute. If you got anything you want to add to it, bro, go ahead.
Okay. Pretty much touching off what you said. Um,
Sorry,
we
can you
try to
guys
get.
hear me?
Oh, she got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry. My Bluetooth wasn't working. Yeah, I do have a bone to pick on this topic. I mean, just coming in right away, swinging. Hollywood has groomed women into living at a certain level. You know, you're not you're not beautiful unless you're showing skin. You're not, important. So for me, it's really hard because, when you come in trying to express yourself as a woman, like, you need to cover up, telling other women, you're going to be the one attacked. So, I mean, in scripture, it says, woe to the one through whom which the offense comes from, so showing off your body like that, it comes with consequences. Me as a human, yeah, people can come at me attacking me because um, I said something, but to me, I will not fear man, but I'll fear God, whom, he could take your body, he'll kill you and throw you into the pit of hell. So, like, we have to understand that, again, this goes back to the fight isn't against flesh and blood. So,
I'm glad you brought that up because we randomly we post our feelings and our thoughts on social media. Some people do it for entertainment. Other people, when we post, we're posting with intent and purpose. But when you take away a person's authenticity, you strip away who they are, and you decide that you're going to depict everything that they say to be one thing when it's completely something else. You're creating a narrative in itself. What I think what is something along the lines of not being a false witness. You're creating an entirely different path that's going to lead to something even more destructive. And what I appreciate about having these conversations, and I'm glad you're here as a woman, because so many people got triggered by what I said. When when we have these discussions, we're not specifically targeting anyone. It's about the sin. It's about what happens when you carry yourself a certain way, when you talk a certain way, when you walk a certain way, when you think a certain way. All of that stuff really is crucial to your relationships with people. And I think that there's a veil that's over people's face where they would rather ignore the fact that the things that they're doing and saying is really affecting people in order to continue to do and move in the ways that they wish without any kind of recompense behind it. And that's a huge problem to me. Any man with any self-respect and carries himself in a way that God has kept his hands on him will say the same things to me. And I've had this conversation with a few people off camera where there are people who move and conduct themselves in ways that is going to be a deterrent to the people that follow them or look at them. If I look at something sexual on social media, I'm going to be drawn to it. I have an addiction. I'm addicted to women. I'm addicted to porn. I've been away from it. I've been fighting the urge to go back to it. But if I see something, it can trigger me and it makes it harder for me to fight it. But you think that you're just posting out of the art of celebrating your femininity. Well, what is femininity? What does that actually mean by definition? Is showing your cheeks every single day on social media feminine? Is twerking in front of the camera feminine? Is standing out in a blizzard half dressed feminine? Is that for photography? Are you a professional? Are you on Vogue magazine? Are you making money from it? Are you a I just it's astonishing to me how sensitive we have gotten. The lack of empathy, the lack of soul, compassion. And then what's going on here? You're so misguided and confused and conflicted. The only reason I can think of anyone getting upset or offended by anything that is said is if you have a reason to be. There's some things that you've been dabbing in that you shouldn't have been, and you don't want to be exposed for it. One thing that came across my attention as I had put this post up, mind you, I have over 30 poems. I have video clips. I have just random thoughts posted on social media. Of all the posts that you could have commented on, the one that triggered you the most, that's the one that you brought attention to. And now, because of the disconnect, you're looking at me in an entirely different light. Now I'm an enemy. Now I hate women. Now you don't know me. I argue that you never knew me. People that get offended aren't really trying to understand, and that's the problem. Anyone who really knows you, anyone who knows themselves, knows how life is. You know what is going on out here. You're not ignorant or blind to it. So for anyone to speak on these matters, you have to know that it's coming from a place of fact. This is bigger than people. This is bigger than us. It's always been bigger than us, and we need to get out of our heads. I wanted to ask you a question too. Um, why why do you feel that this is so much of a problem.
Why I feel
Sorry,
it's so no, are you asking
yeah,
me a question?
yeah.
Oh
Why
man.
is this such a
So I know exactly what post you're talking about, and that's why I commented on that. Those women that do need that type of attention, they're only skin deep. If you have a deeper conversation with them, it's not going to happen. You're only going to get so far, and you're catering to a specific audience. And if you draw them in using those tactics, once you stop, it's like a drug addict. They're going to go look elsewhere to another dealer or supplier or whatever. Um, it's feeding that addiction. And so there's eternal consequences for those, women that do that. And um, like for instance, if there's those type of women, I mean that number is growing right now. More and more are catching on that train because they see that's where the money is. They get their sugar daddies, and um, when anyone comes out to defend those type of women, I mean, I could see what kind of man it is and what they're supporting. Because if you have morals and values, a man will go say, go put some clothes on. You don't have to show all that to make a point of who you are. And like I said with Hollywood, though, all these women are following, like, even the sex industry. It's created fantasies in men's minds that this is what a woman should do. This is the way she should perform. And then when reality comes in, and you get into a relationship, you get married, and a woman doesn't do XYZ as they've already seen, that marriage bed is already tainted, and she can't live up and perform to that standard, and then he's going to go looking for that drug, that what he was used to. So it actually disintegrates the marriage unit. And I could speak on it because previously I've was married, and that was the person was doing that, and I couldn't live up to the standard of that person, and it fell apart. Like for me, uh remembering going to sleep crying, like this is not what I asked for in a marriage. But those kind of deep dark secrets, that's what the enemy uses to break apart marriages and family units. And um, so this is a very touchy subject for me too. It's not just touchy, but I'm very vocal about it because I know the consequences, that it's not just today that it has consequences for the future and whoever enters your life. And you pass that on to the person, and then they start fighting demons that they're confused about. They're like, where the heck did this come from? I'm like, I didn't have these problems. So now you're fighting things that, like I said, that the other person put onto you. So yeah.
Mr. Six Rings? How do you feel about the climate that we are in terms of censorship and talking about things that aren't completely focused on as much as they should be? One thing that you said, Anna, that I applaud you on is that our experiences personally are testimonies. When you're strong enough and you're able to speak on these things, there's going to be someone who hears it and it's going to plant a seed in them and it's going to register them as they're going about their life. And it might change them. It might stop them or prevent them from going down the same road, or it might save them from some potential hurt in the future. So it's important that we be honest and we tell the truth. We got to be transparent. There's no shame in going through something. There's no shame in heartache or being embarrassed or lied to or judged or looked at a certain way. There's nothing wrong with it. Everyone has gone through it or experienced it in some way, form, or fashion. I don't know if his mic is on, but I want to say this: going into the next year, I think we need to clean our lenses. We need to clear our mind. We need to empty out. We need to remove some things in us that's keeping us. And I'll turn it over to you. I wasn't sure if you were ready yet or not. But going into 2024, we need to unlearn some things for our sake and for everybody else's sake around us. This is not a competition. This isn't about being better than the next person. This is about surviving and making it through this race and this marathon. You're only going to end up in one or two places, despite how much time you think you got left. There's only two options: heaven or hell. You can play around with this all you want. I'm not. That's why I can't censor myself. I have to be direct as I am, and I have to do it my way. I can't do it anyone else's way. I'm sorry. You might not like my delivery. You're not for me. You might not like what I'm saying. I still love you anyway. You might want to distance yourself from me because I don't fit into the lifestyle that you want to rebel for. I understand. I'll see you. Prayerfully, I'll see you. We might not ever be equally yoked. I understand. I'll continue on until I am equally yoked with somebody or with people. You want to stay in the dark? I'll pray for you and continue on. What I will not do is lie to myself to keep you around me. That's a disservice to me, not you. It's a disservice to me. You want to live that way? You want to continue to walk in ignorance and folly and stumble over yourself over and over and over again? Go ahead. You don't want to fix these habits that you have. You don't want to check yourself. You don't want nobody to check you. Okay. See how that work out for you. Let's see how far you go with that attitude. Let's see how many people stay in your life because of that attitude. Let's see how long your friendships and your relationships work with that attitude. You think you know everything? Let's see how long that lasts. You want to be popular. You want to be loved. You want to be seen. You think your way is the best way. You don't think there's no other way to obtain that. Okay, I said everything that I could say. Now I leave it to you. Look, I have nothing against nobody. I care about everybody. I have no bitterness or nothing in my heart. You can take what I'm saying and run with it, or you can ignore it and do what you will. I have no ties with it. I support whatever you decide to do. I'm not going to be a part of it, but I support whatever you want to do. There's people who really need help, really need answers, really need healing. Unbridled conversations must happen. The truth must happen. The dialogue, the back and forth, it has to happen. The uncomfortable conversations have to happen. And what I'm finding out is that if a person doesn't respect you, it don't matter what you say to them. If they don't respect you, they're not listening to you anyway. So you're wasting your breath. That's the only reason I can think of for a person. It's either you don't respect the person and you look at them in a certain light, or the enemy is controlling you and is restricting your soul and your spirit from receiving something that is coming from an angel or from God. I don't get up here just talking for me. I ask God to use me every time I get in front of this camera, like it or love it. Believe in Him or don't believe in Him. I ask Him to use me to speak and speak boldly, whatever it is I have to say out my mouth. Because God is the one who is trying to reach out to you. God is the one that's trying to reach out to me. He don't want the fate that a lot of people are in right now to happen to you. So he has to use people on this earth to do his will. How am I going to do his will if I'm scared to be judged or crucified because of your feelings, because you're offended by something I'm saying? If I didn't care, I wouldn't say nothing to you at all. But now is the time for you to either walk away or draw closer. Bottom line. You're even going to draw closer to God, or you're going to continue to go the way you want to go. Imagine, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give it to you, bro. Imagine for a second. Let's say he doesn't use, and I'm not gonna. I curse. I don't. I try to limit myself with doing it. But let's say right now, everyone who came into this stream right now, including the ones that are here right now. Let's say God is talking through me right now, and He's talking through Anna, and He's talking to my brother down here at the bottom. Let's say He's using all of us to convey a message to you right now. Are you going to hear it, or are you listening to it? Do you believe that He's talking through us, or is this make believe? This is real life for me. Social media or not, this is real life for me. All of this is real life to me. This conversation is real life to me. The stuff that we're talking about is happening. It's not made up. It's not scripted. I'm not looking at a teleprompter. It's happening. Food for thought. I give it to you, bro. Some with your mic. Some with your mic. Nah. Try again. Or you might have to leave out and come back in. You're not on mute. I just can't hear you. Hold up. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna take you off the screen and I'm gonna bring you back and see if that works. It is not a joke. It's not a joke. We can laugh and play around with this all day. This is real life. Yo, nah, still nothing. Leave out and come back in.
Can I say something while he's,
Yeah, yeah.
last week, these words came to me. You cannot offend a man that's already dead. Us as believers, we're dead to ourselves. So when we stand up for the truth and we voice biblical truth, it's not our truth. It's not something that we made up in our minds. We take everything that scripture says, how we're supposed to live, and speak it. And when people come at us, calling us names or trying to offend us, I mean, technically they can't. So the truth, it sounds offensive, especially to the people that are living in the flesh. So I really like that you said that, God is speaking, because he really is. He's, whoever it is, let it apply, let it cut where it may, and, change what they need to change. And yeah, all right, he's back, so I'll get off.
Go ahead, bro. I guess he's still having some issues with his mic. It's this is a good time to reflect. I'll even go as far as to say whether or not you kind of subscribe to anything that we're saying, to go and find out for yourself whether or not what we're speaking about has any legitimacy to it. I
How
think
about
you
now?
hear. Go ahead and
Am
say
I coming
something.
in now?
Yeah,
Could you
yeah,
hear me now?
yeah.
Yeah, it was just bad audio connection. Yeah, but I was asking you, you was asking me a question about, about what we talking about. And I what was the question again?
No, my question was, how do you feel about the way that we are moving in 2023 in terms of censorship, and the fact that everything that we say and try to do is being monitored or filtered? Do you think that is prevalent? Do you think that is not as bad? How do you feel about it?
Well, to cover all bases of what we all been talking about, um, and we were talking about the truth and how people receive the truth, and we trying to spread light on the situation. To be honest, I mean, the truth is everybody have been in have went to church at one point, whether you was younger or like you still go now or whatever the case is. But the one thing I can say, when you go in there and you have a pastor speaking, he's not he's not uh he's not a spy. He's not looking at you specifically, but everybody go in and they come out. They supposed to come out a better person, and they supposed to feel some type of conviction. If you don't feel no conviction when you go to church, that means that you're perfect, and you're not perfect, because it's going to be something said in there that's going to be dealing with you specifically. If you ever went to church and heard somebody preach, it's going to be something in there that's dealing with your life, your current situation, And what we're doing on here is pretty much touching on the everyday events, the everyday situations that people might go through. It's random things, and touching on what you said about the 2023. I just feel like we live in a fake ass generation right now. I think this generation coming up, they some fake asses. They run from the reality. They want to stay in fantasy. They run from the truth. You know what I'm saying, is what they do. So if you feeling some type of way, or if your feathers are ruffled, I think that's a great sign. If your feathers get ruffled about something, I think it's great, because it's allowing a change to go on in your life specifically. And it ain't no, like I said, it ain't no different than you feeling some type of way, conviction of a preacher speaking over in church. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to make the correction and the change that go on in your life. Don't run from it, run to the change. You know what I'm saying? Because we about to go into another year. Who the hell want to change years and don't make a change in a current life? Who want to do that? You're gonna feel like a total loser. That's just what it is. You're gonna feel like a complete loser. You're gonna do a self evaluation of yourself, and you're gonna realize that I haven't grown. Because conviction, if you could take the conviction, that means you're willing to make the necessary steps to level the hell up. You see what I'm saying? And you're not leveling up for nobody else's validation. Fuck other people. You mentioned something about competing and it ain't no competition. Well, it is a competition. It is a competition. The competition is with yourself. That's it. You can't worry about nobody else. You can't worry about nobody else's life. The only thing you can do is be honest. Be honest with your own life. Be truthful about your own situation and level the hell up from that. And if you can be better from 2023 going into 2024, then to me, you a winner. You won. So people need to really take that and move forward with. This I'm gonna say it again. I think it's a fake generation, man. I mean, I had conversations with people. People do not feel comfortable with the truth, the stuff that we speak on. We like you say, we're not pointing out nobody specifically, but at the same time, this is an everyday living situation. It does happen. We speak on men out here being feminine. They're not being a total man out here. We speak on women being in a masculine, and they're not allowing themselves to be soft and feminine to support their man. I mean, we speak on a lot of stuff. We speak on kids growing up wrong. We speak on households. We speak on families that's fucked up, that they don't even work together no more. They don't come together unless it's a funeral, like stuff like that. So I mean, it's a lot of situations that we speak on, but let's let's all come together with the same thing and say, damn, it is true. It is happening. We have seen something that resembles what the fuck we're saying. So to me, that's what I got out of it. We just got to be honest, and moving forward to 2024. Let's make the change within our for ourselves. Let's make the change with ourselves for ourselves, and we're not worried about nobody else's opinions on here. We gonna continue to move forward. We're gonna continue to move gracefully, and we're gonna continue to ask strength, from God, because that's all we really need to be focused on. You know what I'm saying? All this other stuff, this make up stuff, make believe stuff is not real. You know what I'm saying? The minute you speak on some truth, you get some rebellion, you get some pushback, and the reason why you get some pushback is because everybody can't take that conviction. It's like a punch in the face. People getting punched in the face. If somebody throws some truth on them, so, you know what I'm saying? They like, I don't like that. I'm gonna come back at you because I don't wanna face that reality piece. I don't want to change my fuck up, so I'll rather attack you back than to change. It's easier to just be combative. It's easy to be combative because you don't want to change. So we gotta look at that and look at ourselves. Everybody has that in them about something, if you're being honest. And as far as the truth is gonna come out, wherever it is, whatever you're battling with, or whatever your challenge is, focus on that part. You see what I'm saying? As we move forward. So yeah, I think that's what it is. People run from the truth and they rebel against the truth because they don't want to make the changes within themselves. And that's the whole point of what we've been talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really come to grips with that heading to next year.
Well said. Well said. I got one more question before we close out, folks. Hopefully, this will kind of give people a clear direction moving forward. And my question simply is, in your opinion, or putting you in this driver's seat, what are a couple of steps that could be implemented to create healthier conversations?
Well, the first thing is to create healthier conversation. The main thing is to create healthier conversation, in my opinion, is to get people feeling comfortable about being uncomfortable. You're not going to get to the healthier part if you don't attack that first. See, if people want to keep their guard up, it's no such thing as a healthy conversation. You ain't gonna get that. People gotta be comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, and if you feel comfortable being uncomfortable, that you're willing to deal with your own self convictions about what happened wrong with you, and if you can't do that, that means you're not gonna be honest, and we're not gonna get to that healthy part. So that's what I think about it. Like, people really gotta face the facts. If you good with being talking about some uncomfortable situations, getting your feathers ruffled a little bit, then it's gonna feel comfortable. The uncomfortable is gonna turn to comfortable, and then we'll get more honesty, and then we'll get to a healthier outcome with what we're talking about. But as long as people holding back, as long as people holding back, as long as people keeping stuff hidden and keeping stuff in the closet, and not trying to come all the way out with what's going on, there's no way stuff can get improved and healthy. And that's just the reality of it. You can't say 75% of something and keep a quarter over here and say we moving for, you know what I'm saying? Give me the whole 100. Give me the whole damn 100, and then we can step to the healthy part. Because now I can honestly say, well, man, we can talk about whatever, because I know that you're comfortable talking about the uncomfortable. And that's why we have in this stream today, because it's a lot of people that don't want to talk about the uncomfortable. It don't feel good. That's why it's called uncomfortable. It's not going to feel good. It don't supposed to feel good. But if you're trying to hide that, then you're going to feel bad. You're going to feel bad. And that's what we're trying to change. We want people to feel better. We want people to change. We want people to be more honest and open and truthful, and don't have to bury lies and fantasy bullshit in the ground. Like, they got to come out with this. And I feel like if people could just be honest with themselves, it can be healthy all the way around the spectrum. I think it can be healthy all day and all night. You got it?
You ever been sick and um you knew that you were eventually going to have to throw up? It wasn't quite there yet, but you can feel it. You can sense that it was bubbling slowly, and it was going to come at a time that you didn't want it to,
You got a trash
but you
can.
try to yeah, and you try to fight it. You try to hold it in. That's how I feel about having these type of dialogues. If by you holding it in is making your insides worse. It feels nasty and is you know that feeling of sickness. That's how I feel like it is.
Nauseous. Make you feel
Yeah, when
nauseous.
you withhold your feelings and your thoughts, and you don't have it in you to just let it out and do it when you need to do it. That's how I feel about it.
Constipated.
It's what needs to be done is the fact that understand that I respect you as a human being. I respect you as a man. I respect you as a woman. What needs to be done is you need to have empathy. You need to have sympathy. You have to mentally, emotionally be connected and invested in the person out of respect for them and for yourself. You have to put yourself in a place where you want a resolve. You have to be in a place where you want to get somewhere, that you don't want to be stuck in a standstill and a revolving door. Once you erase all of these barriers, like you said, then you're able to receive what a person is saying. You have to sit there and listen to them talk. You have to allow them to articulate what they're saying, why they say it, why they feel how they feel. You cannot cut them off. You can't interfere in their thought process. They have to be able to get everything out. Once they get everything out, then you give back what they gave you. You respond to what they said. Because once you've already heard everything that they had to say fully, then only then can you fully grasp where this is going to go. And once you do that, it's easier. The conversation goes a little smoother, whether or not it's uneasy or not. At least by hearing each other out completely, no interruptions, you've made not only them more comfortable and more free to be able to dissociate themselves with wondering if they're respected or they're heard, but you put them in a place to where they can truly be themselves. And once they're themselves and you're yourself, we got something there. That's my take on it. I think it's your mic or your earpiece. I see you unmuted, but I can't hear you. Talking to Anna. Check, check, check. A bit of a
She probably having
sound
an
issue with Anna.
audio issue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I heard what you said, bro. With making people feel comfortable about sharing themselves and stuff, and that's good. But I feel like the real challenge, is after that's being done or being said to one another. Do the other person really, can the other person go deep in depth and understand uh, the impact of what they're hearing? And I think that's the challenge. I think that's where, the true connect or the disconnect happen at. Because we can hear each other, but the understanding is how, how you see the growth in all of that. And you know it can prevent conflict. What I mean? That I think that's where people need to really work on, because if they can only see it from their point of view or their lenses, then you're not going to grasp the other person's impact of what they're saying to you. You know what I mean? You're not going to get it like that. You're going to get what you want out of it and come back. But the connection got to still be there. Like if you really understand, man, I think that's even more impactful. You know, and it can prevent misunderstanding, words, misleading meanings to what somebody has said. And I think that's to me, that's the real challenge. We can hear each other all day, and that's a good thing. I think that's the beginning. But to understand where somebody's coming from, it'll make the person feel real heard. You can, what I'm saying, feel understood. Hearing and understanding, like understood feels better. Like if you understand, it's like, man, thanks, man. Thank you.
Anna, you might have to leave out and come back in. I still can't get no sound.
Hey man, it's been a hell of a stream, man. Let me tell you that. It's been a hell of a stream. It's been a hell of a topic. And yeah, we gotta do this more often.
These are the ones that need to be had for sure. Because often more than not, a lot of things can be resolved if people actually took the time to actually care to find the solutions to the problems in the first place instead of just jumping to conclusions and
Yeah.
thinking
It's
outside of the box.
it's easy, like I said, it's easy to be combative than the challenge is the understanding of one another. I don't think people had I'm not saying everybody, but it's more of a challenge. So people don't have the patience to sit back and listen and then understand where somebody else coming from. It's easy to go ahead and argue about it.
Anna,
Okay, can you hear?
we're gonna try you here
Coming in.
now.
All
Okay, is
right.
this better?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just talking to myself, but so it's interesting kind of to sum up what you all were explaining. So imagine that the person that you're communicating with, they have that wall, and what is that wall? That wall is offense. How do you break through that veil and get through to that person? I believe it's communicating out and letting them know that you are not their enemy, and you are fighting the idea, the whatever the topic is, that you're not going against them personally. And because they're living on the other side of the mirage, they can't see through it. But how do you break through that veil and pull them in and help them understand? A lot of people don't want to put time into a person. It's like instant gratification society that we're living in, you know. If you don't get results right away, all right, you know, you discard people. Um, but sitting with people is it's disappearing. You don't want to put up with other people, you know. So you go move on to the next person that um, will fulfill whatever desire it is that you're seeking out. So um, I believe that communication aspect of it is, and you know, re-clarifying yourself, because sometimes people do need reassurance that you're not attacking them, you know. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. What I'll say to that is, um, to that wall that you was describing. I think everybody. That's what we were saying. Everybody got some type of wall up because they don't want to put their self out there, or put their issues down, and they feel uncomfortable again about doing it. I guess with certain people or whatever like that. It got to be some type of comfort where they can kind of lay it down. Men feel the same way, women do feel the same way. They got to feel safe and all of that to be able to let that out. But it's definitely not a good thing to hold it in either. So what I would say is to let the person know that you know me personally, I'm not perfect. I'm dealing with shit. I'm fighting shit too. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta let them know that we're all dealing with maybe different things that we're dealing with, but it's all a challenge. So let them know what you're going through, so they'll feel comfortable with you. To let you know what they're dealing with. So to me, that's how I would go about trying to break that wall, to let them know that it's nobody perfect out here. You know what I mean? We all got something that we got to deal with and overcome.
Breaking barriers, getting rid of vices, humility, and a lot of supplication. We can do it. It can be done. I love everybody's take on this subject, from the start of the stream all the way down to the end of it. We need to have more of these discussions. And it's not necessarily always going to be on things like this. But what this does is it creates a place or an arena where people can feel comfortable enough to be able to open up. And the more people open up, the more we can expand on these areas, and touch and reach out to other people that might be a little more hardened than we are. So I thank y'all for sharing your thoughts, for your time, your energy, and yeah, I'm glad we went on early. we definitely have to tap in again at some point. Uh, any final words before we close out?
Yeah,
Hey, if
I was just gonna say that like I said before, I appreciate us doing this topic. Everybody said something that's inspiring to somebody, to even like you say, even one person that was listening, it could have probably touched them and you know sparked up something in them, sparked a change in somebody, and I think that's why I like doing these myself. Um, it's not always about attacking somebody's character or offending somebody. It's about inspiring somebody to make a change within themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, everybody's dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the good fight going and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody need a change. It's a new year, people.
indeed it is, indeed it is, and so the race continues. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody that pulled up. Let me give them a shout out real quick before we close out. Landon Rogers official. Salutes to you. Salutes to Prince Prodigal. Salutes to the ones that didn't show their face or their name in here. I appreciate all of you who pulled up. And Six Rings Desperado. Appreciate y'all. Uh we taking the break tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing a whole New Year's Eve thing. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Want to bring the New
Um,
Year's in. Um, I just want to do something different. So it's just a thought. Let me know how you feel about it once we all this is done. But this is Assembly Excellent signing out. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're not following any of these beautiful souls here, go check them out for sure. Uh, yeah.
Tap all world. We them boys.